for bringing that up.
I just, I wanted to, I wanted to start out, and we got off to the wrong start. So this is Taking Action TV, and who better to have interview is someone who is a master of taking action and doing the things to follow her dreams and to make a difference in the lives of others. So, why don't you start off with telling us a little bit about your taking action adventure and where you're at now in the world?
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me here, Eric. I am so excited to be featured with you on your Taking Action TV. And it really got started with me with just wanting more in my life. I was doing the things. I was doing the everyday things, right? I was a mom. I was a very good mom. I was, you know, in the thick of the the ness. I don't even know what to call it, but you know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. I don't want to use the word mediocrity, but it's like it's the plane that everybody goes through. And I got to a point where I was just like, this feels so incongruent to who I am. I just feel like there's so much more. And it wasn't so much that I didn't love or I didn't like the life that I was in. It's just that it was so repetitive and it wasn't expansive. And I wanted to figure out a way to be able to include all of it into my reality. But in order to do that, I had to break some of it apart in order to create the things that I wanted in my life. So that's really how I got into the mind frame of starting to take incredible irrational action. And and it is, when people look at me, they think I went crazy, and maybe a part of me did. um, but it has allowed me to build my business, to be able to help and serve others, and truly start to discover what makes me happy and fulfilled as a person, which I just wasn't experiencing in my everyday life.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Um, so, I mean, taking action has many forms. So, what do you think is the most important area of your life where taking action has led you to the point where you're at now and pursuing a life that is exciting and fulfilling for you?
I would say probably the most important piece of the puzzle is mindset work, because when you choose to go in a route that's different than what people expect, you're going to go through a lot of ups and downs in that process because it's not normal and you don't have the same support system that you would if you were doing the normal things that everyone else does. So, having that space where I know that I'm doing my subliminal messaging, I know that I'm doing my affirmations, I know that I make sure that I move my body, and I just go through the things that condition and look after my mindset in order to be able to do the things that are, again, irrational and unexpected. And just to add to that, one more piece before I let you ask your next question is, a really big part of the puzzle is just knowing where I'm going in order to start to get there. My why was really big. I made a really big why, so the how didn't matter. The how started to work itself out, and that's what allowed me to jump off of the cliffs that I normally wouldn't jump off of.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So tell me a little bit about how taking action has helped your business to evolve and help you to actually better serve your audience, the people that are participating in your products and services and stuff like that, and your support.
Well, if you don't take action, then there would be no place for these people to be able to come and learn from me. So it's really, really absolutely necessary. Now, each step that I've taken has been a building block in that growth. So you start messy, you
Hmm.
start ugly. You start not knowing what it is that you're doing or why.
Hmm.
I did a post earlier today that was like, everybody starts at 0 followers. So just start creating the content, right? And you
Hmm.
get better as you go along.
Yeah.
So yeah, so taking action is the fundamental step in the growth of everything that I've built and everything that I've been able to do. Because if I didn't just take those steps and do the things that were uncomfortable, then I wouldn't be able to serve the people that need to hear from me and need my services and kindnesses.
Yeah, I mean, and even using this program, which I've never used before, you just turned me on to HAPS broadcasting, and I was like, "Hey, this is right in line with taking action. Let's jump in here and let's see what it does and how it works, and if it's something that's viable for just getting out there and making it happen." I can agree with you on. Just getting started, and at times things are going to be messy. It's like when I first I had been writing poetry for maybe a year, and then someone was like, "Hey, do you want to go to this poetry reading?" And I was like, "I've never read my poetry except for one-on-one with people. Okay, yeah, I'll do it." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting there for the first time, and I was holding my poem, and I'm standing up there, and there was only maybe 15, 20 people, and uh, I remember the paper shaking. You know what I mean? But I was reading, and I was doing it, and it was after that first time, it was like I was hooked. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now it's on, and I've read it every chance that I could get, and same thing with speaking. You just feel the fear and move beyond it, and I guess that would probably lead into the next question, like um, how has taking action just helped you feel through the fear and move beyond it?
Jesus. Yeah, taking taking some of the leaps and making some of the choices that I've made have been so scary. And the scariest one that I made was buying that first plane ticket, the
Hmm.
plane ticket to Costa Rica. Um, I've got a video that I recorded, I don't know, like minutes after I had pressed the button. And I was like, I was shaking, right?
Hmm.
Because it was something that I had never done. Um, but you just have to trust. Taking action is really about trust. It really, really is.
Hmm.
And it's trusting your intuition. It's trusting that you have faith and you are going to be able to move forward in the things that you truly desire. And it's through that mindset of trust that will allow you to make those hard decisions that you don't want to make, because you don't. Like, it's much more comfortable staying in your comfort zone. That's why they call it a comfort zone, right?
Yeah. So I hear that you can take anyone and help them learn to broadcast brilliantly. So tell me a little bit about that.
Ah, man, that's one of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world, because so many people just get caught up with how they look or wanting to be perfect. Or, I mean, if you look at this right now, like, I'm in a not so greatly lit space. I'm sitting on top of a bed, and every once in a while when I move, there's a bounce. Right? Because my laptop is sitting on a suitcase, on a bed in a hostel while I talk to you.
Mhm.
And that's why it's so important to, or that's why what I do is so profound, because what I really laser focus in is getting rid of the junk ideas of the things that you think that you need to do, and I just get you up and going. It's not about being perfect. I mean, we don't really want those no shots. Those no shots suck. But, you know, just as long as you get up and start moving, and we talk about that trial and error, like we did before, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like at the beginning nobody's watching you anyway. You have to start from nowhere. So get it out of the way, just broadcast and start to make those mistakes and get better as you go along. And you will, because it's fun. So, to answer your question, I absolutely love taking people from nothing and getting them so comfortable and so confident. I've had people start multi broadcasts. I've had them start international broadcasts. I've had clients that have started podcasting and have had celebrity guests on their features. Like it's just so much fun. In fact, my last interview, um, it was her very first interview that she had ever done. And she got eyeballs on her by her mentor with an audience of 100,000 people. And it just spiraled. But that would never have happened if she didn't get the confidence just to try.
True. True. Yeah, it's definitely. And jumping on here, I don't even have my normal green screen. I actually have the green screen. I don't have an image behind me, but none of that matters. And I can even show you my fancy little little green screen image or whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, none of that really matters. The movement, the computer jumping on the bed. When someone's scrolling through their feed and they see that, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, I've got to find out what they're doing." You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of that is, when you start broadcasting, start talking about the things you're passionate about, the audience will show up.
Yeah.
And so maybe talk a little bit about how that has played out for you in your broadcasting journey, and anything that stands out along that line.
Yeah, I think it's really important that people have the skills and the know-how to do the fancier things, to show up as their best selves on camera. But one of the things that I really like to talk about with my students is called the whole enchilada. And that means not being afraid to get up and be a little bit messy. Because when you're willing to be messy, that's when people just feel like you're real and they can relate to you in a way that they won't relate to you when you've got the fancy backgrounds and the fancy images and animations and all of that, because when you show up that way it feels like you're out of reach. So when you show the whole enchilada, they're like, oh, I understand that they can do everything. And when
Mhm.
they understand that you can do everything, that empowers them to be able to move forward.
True, true, so true. Yeah. And, you know, I guess when it comes to broadcasting, there's probably not a whole lot of competition. I mean, it, people are, there's always an audience for what you're interested in and what you have to gift the world. So I guess, talk a little bit about how you've been able to kind of express your creativity through your broadcasting.
Yeah, so it's really wonderful. I actually discovered this back in 2010, because I was an acting graduate. And I guess this was in 2008. I graduated in 2008, but I started my business in 2010. Um, and what I saw was this opportunity to be able to share yourself and whatever your talent, skill, or possibility was for you. You can share it online and build that audience for you. Now there is a skill in order to building tribes and people that are going to celebrate you, but this is the vehicle to do it. If you don't master broadcasting, well, the statistic is when you show up on camera, you have a 3,000 times more chance of a conversion rate and go the no like trust factor than if you just show up on imagery or text. People
Right.
relate to video so much more, and it doesn't matter what your skill, talent, or expertise is. You can plug it all into this broadcasting medium and build that tribe around that will celebrate you. Just think about all of the people that you connect with and celebrate, right? There's
Yeah,
no reason why you can't have a piece of that pie as well.
sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, this is a neat little program. This is a HAPS broadcast studio. You mentioned it before when we were chatting on Zoom, and I was like, "Hey, just send me a link. Let's try it." So we've been playing around with it a little bit, and I kind of like it. It's
I'm
neat.
falling in love with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got introduced to it by some of our mutual peers, and I tried it out, and I was hooked right off the bat. I thought it was just so cool because it's got a very robust system. It can do a lot of the things that those broadcasting softwares that you look for can do. It doesn't do everything yet, but it's still in beta. And what I particularly love about this is that they gamify the process. So the more that you log into HAPS, you're going to get coins to log in. And when you broadcast, you get coins. And what those coins do is that gives you an opportunity to support your peers. And when you support your peers, they're going to support you. And it's just they built this beautiful web of being able to support their broadcasters and actually get that engagement um, that we all seek. And I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I had tried broadcasting into one of my Facebook groups, but for some reason it's not working. And I've tried to toggle it off, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, my idea with taking Action TV was to bring people on that, and share a little bit about how just getting up and doing it. Try it, make it happen, let it all hang out. Let it
Yep.
be imperfect, and then with practice, you get that a little more mastery and a little more polish to it.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, I mean, we're doing this broadcast, this first broadcast, right? And who's to say that 6, 8 months from now that we just redo it again and have that real polishedness to it. There's the sky's the limit, really. And it's just all about getting out of your own way and being willing to make those mistakes, go through the stumbling blocks and try again and clean it up along the way.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I don't really. It doesn't need to be polished for me. The whole idea of I think back to early 2000s. I mean, before Facebook was even around. And I'm got my little brick phone and all of that stuff, and I don't even think they had cameras on them at that time.
I don't think so
And
either.
then seeing all of this stuff change over the years, and then having tools like this that used to be only the large news networks and stuff actually had, and now we have it on our cell phone or our laptop or whatever. Um, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's mind blowing how fast technology is advancing. And like even today, or I guess it was yesterday, I was in a Zoom meeting with some of our peers, and they have this like interactive thing now where they will cut the person out and they'll place them into seats. Like,
Yeah, is that a part of Zoom or something?
yeah,
I didn't
that is a brand spanking new Zoom feature. And like there's still some tweaks that need to be pulled out of it, but we couldn't do that a month ago. We couldn't do that a year ago.
actually
It's
we could have done it a year ago when we went through our master class.
yeah.
We did learn, and we do have all those tools in there. If you had uh,
Yes.
gone back in and watched some of that stuff, which I have actually, I went back through. I'm on my third time through that
That's
training
amazing,
that
Eric.
we went through, and actually did his last one as well. But the just being comfortable, just speaking from the heart, and just moving forward through the challenges and the fears. Um, I guess that becomes kind of like a a habit or a character trait, after a while. Um,
And I
so
love that. And I love that you say that because it's true. When you start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's when opportunities start flying your way on a consistent basis.
mhm,
Because all of a sudden you're starting to be able to handle more and you're more willing to say yes to things instead of closing the doors on opportunity and being like, no, I'm too afraid, I'm too uncomfortable, right?
mhm.
So they just start they that's when opportunities start to fall, is the more that you just start saying yes and just be willing to take action.
Yeah, I mean the power of saying yes to life is yeah, it should not be understated by any stretch of the imagination. So often we're just like, well, how's that going to work? Or the mind comes up with all of these reasons why, how it could fail or this or that. But in reality, none of that stuff, while it could be true in some instances, a lot of times it's just the mind wanting to keep you stuck in the same place and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. One of the best pieces of advice that I can give to anyone that's watching is just get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah, it's it takes a lot to do that for sure, and I think of um, back when I was before I got sober and everything. I There were a lot of times that I took action and it kind of didn't turn out so well. I mean, do you have any times where taking action led you to a
Yes.
learning experience that helped shape who you are today? And if so, you feel like sharing any of those?
Sure, I've got a lot. But I want to use this example of when I went on this nomadic journey because I went out of my way in this nomadic journey to say yes. It was just a thing like, okay, what are you going to throw my way this time? I'm just in a yes state. And yeah, I mean, through saying yes on a consistent basis, sometimes you learn where your boundaries are and what you really want to say no to. And through saying no, that's also saying a yes because you're saying yes to yourself by building that boundary.
Hmm.
I don't want to get into specifics with the things that happen, but I can say that it is a learning curve, and sometimes you have to take the hits to get the lesson in order to really understand where your yeses belong.
Hmm. For
And
sure.
yeah, and I can use the example of we were talking about before about like hiring coaches or finding software or this, that, and the rest of it, right? The things that
Hmm.
you think will work. Well, sometimes you need to say yes to test the waters to find out if it's going to be something that's going to be congruent with the way that you work and what you're building.
Sure, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Um, well, cool. We still have some more time. I usually run 30 minutes, but let's just go freestyle.
Okay. I am following your lead, Eric.
Uh,
And
so so how has your journey helped you in maybe partnerships and working with other people and opening up new opportunities?
it's definitely been a contributing factor to opening up opportunities. I often say with my yes attitude, that's how I've gotten into rooms that I probably shouldn't be in, based on like vibrancy or whatever we talk about, like realms of vibrancy. I've been able to get into certain rooms by just having that yes energy, by being willing to put my hand up in the air and say things like, hey, how can I help? Or this, that, and the rest of it. It's especially with broadcasting, because when you're willing to be seen,
Hmm.
that's when people will see you. And when people see you, they want to help you. They want to fit you into their world a
Sure.
lot of the time, right? So that's how jobs can start to come your way, opportunities to meet different people. Like I said, my prime example with my last client
Hmm.
who got seen by her mentor. That never would have happened
Hmm.
if she didn't show up. But it did. And it was because she said yes. And so this massive, massive opportunity came her way. Now, granted, she's done a lot of abundance work, so her mindset was in the right place, which is the number one piece of the puzzle. You have to be willing to receive those opportunities for those opportunities to come your way. So she was already primed for that space. But because she was willing to expand, the universe just threw a really big reward her way for being open and willing to say yes to herself.
Yeah, I'm looking on here, and it looks like you have the ability to present here.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I want to just just kind of note of, let's see, it's screen two, screen three. I'm trying to figure out which screen I need to share here. Let's try two, share audio. I just, something real exciting in my work world has come up, and okay,
It's looking
I
all
come
right.
out of I come out of the screen. Okay,
I'm still on screen.
okay, you're
Ooh,
on
now I'm
there.
big.
All right, there we
There we
go.
go.
And then can we put both of us on the side?
I believe so. There you go. It did
Okay,
squish it just a little bit though, so you're gonna have to figure out your
let's
dimensions or
see
whatnot.
see
But
if we do it tall. No, it's not right. I like trying stuff live.
I think it's great,
Okay,
especially for the topic that you're moving forward with here today.
let's see here. And I don't think I have the right screen. Okay. All right. That stopped sharing. I think it's actually the one behind our. So I'm going to stop share real quick, and I am going to try the different screen. Let's try one more time here. And if I can do it, I think I did screen two last time. Let's do screen three. All right. One more time with feeling. Hopefully this works. Okay. That was not it.
I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to do, so
I was trying to share my screen. And what I think I'm doing, I forgot that we're in software that's similar to StreamYard.
see.
So I need to share screen one, which is the actual screen that shows us.
Yes.
Now, got it. Okay. So, what I wanted to jump in
Perhaps
here,
back office.
yeah, exactly, um, is that Groove now has Groove Mail released,
Yay!
which
That's a
is
big deal. That's a
which is
huge deal.
fantastic.
Yes.
And this is something that I've been waiting for quite some time, and
So long.
it is finally here. So we can do all of our forms. We can have our email sequences, our broadcasts, and all of that stuff can be hooked into our memberships and our Groove Funnels pages and uh, all of that good stuff. And also hooked into Groove Video in the form of opt-ins and CTAs and stuff on top of our videos. So that
Well,
was just something that I was just so excited to talk about.
I can't wait until I see you build like a page and figure out how to run Haps live from from a group funnels page because I know you'll figure that out.
Oh, I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Oh, yeah. You're just so smart and so capable. I know you'll be able to. And how cool will that be to be able to run live video to your website?
Oh, I'm sure it's possible. I would have to
Awesome.
see if there's a embed feature. Like I said, literally, we just you sent me the uh, the link to this, and then we just jumped onto a live broadcast. And if that's not taking action, I don't know what is. So,
Yeah.
um, well, cool. Thanks for showing up and
You're
uh,
more than welcome.
with my imperfect action challenge, which is basically just jumping on and playing around with it and seeing what's going on.
I am just so honored to be here and to share this really cool software with you and to talk about nomadic reality and taking action to be able to do the things that you want to do and create a life that you want to live, and to be able to talk about broadcasting, which is always one of my favorite topics.
Yeah. So, anything you want to leave anyone who's watching with, as far as any new projects you're working on or a way to contact you?
Yeah, so I'm currently working on a broadcasting challenge, which is going to be really, really exciting. Get the hell out of your own way and just start getting things moving now. That's going to be coming up here shortly. And if you want news on how to stay in touch with the programs that I run, go to the Light Warriors Academy because that's where I am running majority of my promotions. So you can go ahead and get started in the areas of taking control and doing bigger, better things in your life.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So next time I'll be a little more prepared, and
Mhm.
we'll have the ticker and
So
a
cool.
way to get a hold of you and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's really cool. So thank you again for testing out this software, and I think it's awesome. It's been such a joy to be here with you, and there's no better day than today to take action now.
All right.